Welcome to Auto PV. Our AutoCAD plugin is designed to optimize the design process for residential and small commercial projects. If you would like to follow along, feel free to download the drawing file in the description below. Thank you. Okay, so the last command that we have to go over is our PVString and PVString remove command. This is a newer command that we're working on. Basically, this is just to create a stringing map. It's very manual, so you can play with it however you want. Basically, it's going to utilize the PVString command, string map layer, and the string ID block. So let's start off with just a basic layout here. Let me zoom out a little bit. I can delete that. So we're going to go with PVString. And first thing it's going to ask you is to select the inverter number. So we start out with number 1. Circuit number or string number, start off with 1. And the panels per string. So we're going to select 16, for example. I'm going to hit enter. And then we're just going to hover over a panel, and you'll see once we get close to it, it will show up a small circle around it, and once you go in that circle, it will attach to that panel. So you just hover over the middle of the panels and it will string them together. If you happen to miss a panel, you can always type in U for undo and then go back to that panel and basically just drag your mouse along to show that all these panels are going to be connected. And when you repeat the command, it will ask you for the inverter number and string number again, but for the inverter number, it's going to stay as 1. The string number is going to go up to the next one, so it's going to say switch it from 1 to 2, and then it'll keep the same string count, so it just remembers whatever the last string was that you put in, but you can always modify that by just entering whatever number at whatever value you want. So I'll just do the same thing. Start after I select the string length, select the first panel. So I'm just hovering over the panels. No need to click anything, and it'll tell you in the command line the next number of panels. So next panel in the command line, it says number 9. So we can just hover over the panels, and it shows that all these panels are going to be strung together. Next, I'm going to just switch to another inverter. So we'll switch this from inverter 1 to inverter 2, and circuit number is going to go back to 1, and I'll just leave it at 16 for now. So I'm going to hover over this one, and you'll see it'll add this string ID, hover over it, and I see if I skip the panel, I can undo, and then just go back and fix that. Or if I repeat the command, and move on to the next string in that inverter, it'll go to number 2, keep the same string length, and if I just hover over them, you can move through it pretty quickly, but there are times where it just does miss something, just because it's trying to find the center of that panel, and if it doesn't find it fast enough, it may go to the next one. But yeah, so it's just this is just for different ASJs require stringing maps on smaller jobs. So it's not too common, but at least you can have something that will easily identify the string, and keeps everything uniform, and you can tell it's counting from one panel to the next. That way you don't accidentally miss one. So For the next string, I'm going to just change it to 10. So for inverter 3, circuit number 2, I'm going to put 10. And I can see I already missed the panel, so I'm just going to go back. And then just repeat the command one more time to catch these last few panels. So I'm just going to do 6. And there you go. There's your string map. Obviously, this is a very nice and clean layout, but it can work with anything. It can jump from one roof to the next. So we'll repeat the command one more time. Start back with inverter 1, circuit 1. Just going to do a string of 18 or something. And I want to start here, work my way this way, come down. It really allows you to just string the panels however you see fit. So if you're very in tune with your install team, you can make sure that you create a string map that matches, their design or their install parameters. So yeah, I mean, it has the flexibility of doing that. It is manual, but it's just like that for right now. Eventually, we'll have maybe a more automated process, but for now, this works for AHJ purposes. Yeah, and then the other thing I'll show you next is to remove the strings. Let me just add one more string here. So PV. So I'm going to do this one is going to be 15 panels. So just so that way we end with a nice string count. So there you go. There's your stringing map for this this roof plan. If for some reason I wasn't satisfied with the string, I can go to PVString remove. I can try and select the entire string, which is not going to be easy to do, but you can just select a portion of the string. So if I didn't like the way these two strings worked out, I can select both of those and then hit enter. And then it removes those strings. If I just pick, again, one portion of the string, let's say I just didn't like how string 2 ended up, I wanted to start and end here or in this area, then I would go inverter 1, string 2, and I believe that one was 18 panels. So I'm going to start here and go all the way across. So like that, it shows basically I'm connecting all these panels together and then starting and ending here. So obviously this layout isn't optimal. I mean, there's no real obstructions here. There's no reason why you couldn't create a cleaner layout. It's just for demonstration purposes. But yeah, and then, the same thing goes for, having a bunch of panels in landscape or portrait. It doesn't matter. I'll just do one quick string over here. I can even, create really long strings. So I can do, I don't know, let's just say 36 panels and connect them all together. right? So that's one string of 36. And then, yeah, you just continue, repeat the command, depending on what your stringing ended up being. Obviously, if this was something, like a centralized inverter, you wouldn't hop over from roof to roof. Same thing with here. Maybe this is like a microinverter string or solar edge string where you can do that. But that's the flexibility of it. It's just basically to create a clean looking string map for AHJ purposes, just for your install team. Yeah, and eventually we'll automate it, maybe where you just pick the starting point and then it'll connect a couple panels together, in, whatever whatever fashion is like the fastest or the closest panel. So yeah, that's the stringing map, the string PVString and PVString remove. Again, I'll show you one last time. PVString remove. You just select different portions of the string. They don't even have to be on the same roof. And then hit enter, and it'll just remove all those strings from the drawing, and then you can just restring them as needed. Thank you for watching. If you would like to purchase our product, feel free to go to our website. It's linked in the description below. If you would like to leave a comment or provide any feedback, you can do that below or directly on our website. Thank you for your support, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.